Hey everyone, my name is Sam Huber and I'm the founder of Advir. So at Advir, our vision is to create an Edtech platform for immersive technologies. And I'm talking about technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality. Now we know that these immersive technologies are fundamentally changing the way that we consume content, whether it's the way we play, the way we shop, the way we interact with friends. It also replaces the notion of screen as we know it. So how do you monetize such a media? Well, we know that advertising is a prime candidate. And therefore, what we're building here is the first monetization platform predominantly aimed at VR and AR. So practically, how does that work? We provide content owners with a plugin that they can integrate with their game engine, Unity or Unreal, to create placements within this content. They can drag and drop these red shapes that you can see here. That becomes their inventory, and we're then able to sell that directly to advertisers. Now in VR, we can track where people are looking. So every time someone looks at one of these ads, that triggers a payment from the advertiser to the developer. But the exciting part, of course, is that it's not limited to banners. We actually can provide videos and also 3D placements. This placement can be interactive. So you can literally open this bag, open that pizza box, or watch that TV. We can place items in any type of environment. We, of course, make sure that it's very relevant to the content. And it doesn't stop there. The really exciting part is that we think of ourselves as much bigger than an advertising company. We can actually power any type of transaction happening in-app, in VR, in AR. So it can be advertising, of course, but we can also sell products. So just imagine that, powering in-app commerce directly from the app. So as a result, we think of ourselves as much more than an advertising company, but more of a virtual estate company. It's about how do you monetize the worlds of tomorrow, all this content that is going to be created, and make it as valuable as real estate. So from a tech point of view, we made a decision early on to not go after each advertiser individually, but instead we decided to connect to large, what is called a DSP, demand-side platform, which is basically an ad network that itself has access to hundreds of thousands of advertisers. So by doing so, we rely on a very strong and proven infrastructure, which makes us a very credible partner and also reduces barriers to entry for advertisers to get involved. Because for the first time, advertisers can buy media within VR or AR content using the same platform they already use to buy media on the web, buy media on mobile. So these are some of our early partners. And with these guys, we have access to a massive pool of advertisers. So we also give access to our content developers to a web platform where they can do a couple of things. The first thing they can do is really setting up their campaign. They can make sure that the ads that appear in their content are relevant. So they have access to different categories. They can select those categories for each individual placement. They can also export their content or the data that is relevant to their content directly to third-party tools. Data is very, very important. We think that Advir would be data-led. The main metric in VR and also in AR, but predominantly in VR right now, is gaze tracking, the ability to track and know where people are looking in the content. So can you imagine how useful, how valuable that would be for a content owner to know exactly where the user has been looking, where he has been walking through the game? And also how valuable that would be for an advertiser to understand how a user will actually look at their ad or look at their placement. This is data that creates massive consumer insights that have never been available to those advertisers for now. So that's one of the things that we're providing the advertiser through our platform. So we started this business in February, so it's fairly recent. We started actually going after developers around March. And right now we work with 100 developers, mostly small studios in VR. We can reach through those apps about 600,000 monthly active users in VR, which is about 10% of the market. And our adoption rate, the rate at which we sign up developers, is growing pretty quickly. We also started booking programmatic revenue last month. This is also going pretty well, and we're starting to work with very interesting brands in different verticals. Now, of course, the market, the ad tech market for immersive technologies is a very small market. We're basically creating that market as we speak. But we also know that as there is more and more hardware, more and more content, we'll attract more eyeballs in VR, and we'll be able to grab those guys and monetize them. So the idea, really, the metric that is very important to us right now is not the absolute number, but is the market share. Being early on the market, we think we have a shot at owning 50% of the market in the next 5 years. So myself, I'm the CEO. I used to work in Formula One for 2 years. I then created a mobile game studio, which I've sold a couple of years ago. And I assembled a team that has tremendous experience on the ad tech side, but also on the gaming side. Joe, for example, used to be head of marketing at Sky. John used to be a founder of Eidos, the gaming company, etc. So we're now 7 people. So we're growing fairly quickly. And this is our marketing strategy. As I mentioned before, we want to capture the developers wherever they are, and we identify 10 locations where VR and AR is starting to be a community. So to make this happen over the next 2 years, we're raising our Series A, and I would love to talk to you more about that. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Advir. Thank you so much.